culture that's like our whole lives have been evaluated. Like you go to school and you get grades. You know, you play a sport and you get a trophy. Like you're constantly climbing something.
And part of what I see is like I'm excited that social media exists because it's given a lot of women the ability to create businesses, the ability to have a voice, to have a platform that wasn't there before. We're figuring out being parents while being on social media. That's not a problem they had back in the day.
I know. I daydream about what it would be like to be a mom in 1995.
New things comes new challenges, right? Welcome back to the Young Fuller podcast. I'm Wendy, and on here we talk about navigating career, business, and life in a very thoughtful and intentional way. So I'm really excited for this episode because I am not alone today. I came with my very good friend Casey, and she's joining me on this podcast today to talk about something that is really near and dear to our heart, and that is navigating motherhood while staying present and also building a business. Especially in the social media era. That is something. So why don't we get into it, Casey? Because we've been doing a lot of chat behind the scenes that I was like, we should have just brought our camera and hit record because we covered a lot of really good things that we're discussing. But I just want the listeners to get to know you better. So just introduce yourself, Casey.
Sure, of course. So I'm Casey Kelly. I'm currently a stay-at-home mom of two. My kids are 4 and 2. 2.5 if you ask though, my 2-year-old, because she's going to be 3 like this summer. All she talks about is being 3. And I owned a business for 10 years. I had an Irish dancing studio. I grew up Irish dancing, did that after college, and it was very much a part of my identity. And I think at heart, I am like an entrepreneur. Yeah. And so I started the school very small. It grew quite large. I had my own studio, built out the studio, like custom floors, like the whole thing. It was gorgeous. But then once we were getting closer to like getting married, having a family, I knew like in my heart that I wanted to be home with my kids, like no matter what. And I had this vision. I was like, if I keep running the dance school and like if they're in school all day and I'm teaching dance all night, I'm like, when am I ever going to see my family? Right. And it was like kind of stressing me out.
Yeah.
So I ended up selling the dance school when my son was 8 months old, and then immediately got my real estate license. Because I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, I have 120 dance families. I'm teaching dance 4 nights a week. I'll just have one real estate client at a time.
And how did that work out?
It was very challenging. Like I had him in his little bucket seat and we're showing properties. Like I just brought him with me to things, like because the clients I had at least at the time didn't mind. But once he got bigger and started having opinions, it was harder to take him along to things. And by the time I had my daughter 2 years later, I was like, I just couldn't do it. Like do real estate and have my 2 kids. I think had I started real estate earlier, and if I was like set in it, I would be okay moving through it and having kids. But it was just
because I'm sure like navigating having 2 little kids, because just like you, I have little ones, and trying to do something else, trying to build something from scratch. That is a lot, because even real estate, that's like building a business. It's a lot of self-pacing, and you get what you put into it, right? If you were to describe your ideal job that would work, or your ideal business scenario that would work for you while still being able to be present for your babies, what would that be?
So it's funny because earlier you were talking about your job and how you feel like that God just made this job for you. And that's something I kind of pray about, and I write it down. Like, these are the things I want from the job. Like, I don't want to have to talk to people. It's a very strange list.
You
like,
don't
if I like shared this list with my father, he would be like, "You're crazy. This isn't. What are you living in some fantasy world?" But this was my thing. I was like, okay, I don't want to I don't mind talking to people. I don't want to have to talk on the phone or like go to meetings necessarily, or like I want my time to be mine. I don't want overhead. The dance studio had rent, it had insurance, it had a lot of things that I was responsible for. So like comparing from the dance studio and then with real estate, I'm like, these are the things I don't want. And I want to be able to be in charge of my schedule. And so that's why when I got serious into Arbonne, which is a network marketing business, I was like, this kind of ticks all the boxes. Like,
you work from home.
I can have a community. I can make my own schedule. I can do things as I want to. And same thing with real estate. It's like what you put out is what you get back.
Right.
So that was why I kind of took the network marketing seriously for a while.
Yeah.
But I think part of my problem was when I got my real estate license, I think one of the biggest reasons I did that was because I felt like I needed to validate myself. Because we live in a culture that's like, our whole lives have been evaluated. Like, you go to school and you get grades. You know, you play a sport and you get a trophy. Like, you're constantly climbing something. And when I ended the dance school, I was like, how, like, I didn't know
what to do next.
Because when you're a mom, like, obviously that's like the most important job in the world.
Of
and
course.
You can see it in your kids, but it's not like no one's recognizing you, I guess, for it. The way that we're used to. Like,
exactly. And especially in this world that we're living right now, in the social media era, which is like basically what I really want to touch on today, just because I know that you do a lot of content creation online. You're like I told you, like an influencer, you have a following there, and you create content on the regular. And part of what I see is, like, I'm excited that social media exists because it's given a lot of women the ability to create businesses, the ability to have a voice, to have a platform that wasn't there before, right? So, but the challenge now comes, with new things comes new challenges, right? The challenge now becomes, how do you stay present with your kids? Because you know how social media works. You have to be there, you have to be posted, and sometimes people say everything is content, so maybe every minute you're making content. So how have you been able to strike that balance with the social media world and also being present for your kids, which I'm sure you love, like you really want to do that?
Yes, that was a very tricky balance for me, because I have like 17,000 followers on Instagram, but even that aside, even before I had that following, I was creating content because it was fun for me.
Yes.
And even when Instagram first started, I've had Instagram since 2012, and back then it was photography. Like, it was a photography platform.
Like coffee pictures, cats.
And I like studied photography, so that was my, like, I was like, oh, well, how cool. Now it's so different. When they first came out with reels, I was like, I'm never making a reel. I'm like, but now all I do is
you're a reels queen now. So, if I don't say so.
I did. Two things started happening. One, I started viewing my life through the lens of how it could be turned into content.
Yes.
Instead of just
living and letting it
be
in
my life. And the other side of social media was that you can't open the app without scrolling and watching and getting sucked into it. And that part is very addicting, and it's made to be very addicting.
Yes.
So between those two things happening, I did struggle with it. And I was like, and my kids, it got to the point too where, like, if my phone was over, my 2-year-old would bring me my phone. Because I think she thinks that I need my phone all the time. And like, they bring it to me, and I'm like, I don't want our future to be that.
And the kids pay attention to everything. You know, everything. And I saw somewhere that someone said, if you want to tell your kids to do something or be a certain way, you have to be that thing, because they learn by watching you.
Yes. So how I've sort of come to like battle that was just giving up social media. So like, I don't know a month back or however long ago it was, I was like, I'm giving up social media for 2 weeks. Yeah. Mostly for that particular reason, it was because of the politics that are on social media that I'm just like, I need a break from from this. So I was like, I'm not doing social media for 2 weeks. And that was a great reset. And when I came back for 1 week, and then I decided to give it up for Lent, which is 40 days. I don't know how many days we're into it now, but I haven't been on my phone, and I love it. And
that's what my next question, like, what's the difference that you notice for you?
Yeah.
Creating content and now staying away from it for Lent. And then, like, what's the way forward? Especially people that are struggling with this, because for some people, they don't have the option to take off. For some people, this is their job. Some people really, like, they have an income, they have something coming from there. Like, how will it be sustainable for that woman out there that's like thinking of how to strike that balance?
When I come back into it, because I'm gonna post about this. Like, I already have all these things that I'm like, oh, I want to post about this, but I'm not on social media right now, so I'm definitely gonna be coming back. But I think I'm gonna work harder to set stronger boundaries. Yeah. Like, only be doing social media or things on my phone, like, while my kids are at school or if they're in bed, and trying not to be on the phone while I'm with my kids.
Right. And that's really tricky sometimes, especially people that create lifestyle content, right? Mm-hmm. Like, people doing lifestyle content, their life is their content. Right. So they feel the need every single day. Yeah. If my child is having a muffin, it's like, oh, just wait. I need to, go get my phone. And sometimes, and I'm saying this as someone who fell into that trap in the beginning, because I'm not a lifestyle creator or anything, but like, I'm someone that sometimes I love to share. I see cute moments. I love photos and things like that. But I had to be like, how do I stay present in my life without feeling the need, aside from trying to make money or build a business, but like, still, it can still be validation. Like looking for validation from people to be like, oh, look at me, like my family is so cute, we're so adorable. Like, how do we?
And I think that's something we need to sort of get over too. Is like, because I like hate to admit this, but I used to like go on my Instagram. I have 17,000 followers, and I would go to the like little thing. It was like, how many followers did I gain or lose today? I'm like, why?
Like the metrics?
Yeah. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like this, I don't know these people. Most of them are like moms and grandmoms that followed me from like this one reel that went viral that live God knows where. Like they're not important. Like I not say they're not important, but like they're not in my life.
In your life. Right.
And like, what a weird thing. And so then stepping back from it, you can kind of see the bigger picture. Like the way that it's designed to pull you in and just like having control. And that's kind of another reason why I liked giving up for Lent. And I don't know what anyone's like spiritual beliefs are. I'm actually an RCIA right now, like on my way to like the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Which has been so interesting. And say what you will about the Catholic Church, everyone has had different experiences with it, but mine has been like the Hallow app, basically.
Yeah, you didn't talk about the Hallow app. The Hallow app is
amazing,
so amazing.
and I love it. And I think for me, all of these things are kind of happening at the same time with like social media, giving up social media, kind of coming into the faith, and also just the stage of life. Like I'm 39, and that's not old by any means, but it's the oldest I've ever been.
Of course.
And my parents are the oldest that they've ever been, and I'm definitely getting a new perspective on life and how I want to live the rest of my life and how I want my kids to experience their life.
True.
So if I can cut back on social media or use it in a way, like, and I can still see myself like videotaping them doing something cute or something, but not editing or posting it.
Trying to share. Yeah, that I got to that point too where it was like, I still love to capture the moment, but it's different when I'm sharing it with my mom and when I'm sharing it with the world. I'm like, I don't even know who these people are, who's looking at my children or what's going on out there. And then for them, they just see you on the phone like all the time. And I know you talked about like taking an Instagram detox, because I saw you posted about that, which is something I really want to get into. Like, how can someone like purge if they want to like have a reset? Is it something, do you think 2 weeks? I know you've done a week, you've done longer than a week. When is like the right like amount of time to get off it to like reset your brain? Because I feel like when we're on the app all the time, it's training our brain.
It's hard. And I was talking to my sister-in-law about this because she also gave it up for Lent, and she was like, like the day before, she's like, I don't know if I can do it. And I was like, listen, just do it for 1 week. I'm like, the world's not going to end in 1 week if you're not on social media. Now her like kind of backfire to that was like, well, I use these apps in Messenger to communicate with certain people. And I'm like, yeah, I do too. But sometimes like I had to remove the app from my phone completely. Like I deleted it from my phone.
Yeah.
But I would still go on my laptop to check messages.
Yeah. Like
maybe once a day or maybe every other day. And the longer you can go kind of without it, the easier it is. Yeah. And I felt a lot lighter. And I was telling you earlier too, like, and kind of what you were saying, like when you first stop, you're like, and I still grab for my phone. I'm like, why?
Your hand is wanting to do something.
But I started an Etsy shop like a year ago with printables. And so like that first week that I wasn't on Instagram and Facebook, I pushed out so many Etsy listings. And because I use ChatGPT, that's like a whole other thing. Yeah. But I use ChatGPT to help me make my Etsy listings and like the products that I'm selling on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, getting off social media will make space for other things in your life to create.
Of course. And that's like great segue to what I was going to next, which is about productivity, right? Because sometimes, especially if you have a business, if you're on there, oh, I'm working. But what is working? Are you actually working, or you're like, I'm doing research? And if you look at, especially iPhone, they'll tell you the amount of time you spend today on that app. So like, now that when you got off the app, how did you see that take a turn in your productivity in terms of like actually doing the work,
right?
And not building in front of people or spending time on Instagram?
That gives me two thoughts. I'm gonna try to remember both of them. Sure. The first one is for people who are building a business online.
Yeah.
You really have to like audit what you're doing, because you're probably only being productive for like 20% of the time that you're online.
Amen. I'll say that for sure.
You have to figure out what's actually going to be producing an outcome versus like just getting stuck on the apps doing something else that's not actually productive. And even within your 20%, what 20% of that is the most productive, and like try to focus on what's actually going to create results.
Right.
And then the other side of that, because it's social media and you get stuck, being productive in real life, I would find myself, especially as a stay-at-home mom, I feel like I have ADD because I'm constantly being distracted and interrupted by my kids.
Yeah.
Plus the social media. So I would find myself like going from the kitchen to do laundry, stopping, opening the phone, standing there for God knows how long, not doing the laundry.
No.
The dishes are still, and then the kid's like, Mom! I'm like, oh, and then I have to go tend to them. So it was like, I like wasn't getting anything done. I've been cleaning a little more, like trying to get things organized and creating a space that is good to be in. And
that's so beautiful. And for me, something that helped me as a business owner, because I also run a hair brand, so like what I've been doing is, even though I don't spend as much time, I've been trying not to spend as much time on the app, but there are some tools that you can also use. It's called Business Suite. It's like an app. It's an Instagram. It shows you can post on Instagram and Facebook without actually going on Instagram and Facebook. So that app right here, it's called Business Suite. It's an app, and if you post, you can post there, and that's all you do. You can look at your metrics, you can reply to comments, you can post on stories without being distracted. So for you, like to me, this is work. I want to post about my products. Fine. I come in there at a certain time, I post it, and that's it. I live. The time I get to engage in the app is different from when I post it. But now with all the gurus, they'll tell you, oh, when you post, you should be there for 30 minutes engaging with people.
The way I found to grow was just creating content that I enjoyed. The content that I create that does the best in terms of like metrics is always the stuff that was not pre-planned. It wasn't curated.
Yeah.
The video that has like millions and millions of views where people are following me, it's literally me tired on my couch with my phone. My kid fell asleep because I put a podcast storybook on the TV from Spotify.
Wow.
And I was like, the video was literally like,
I think I saw that video.
It's like, do you have a 3-year-old who needs to take a nap but won't, because Spotify has a audio book with pictures and you can just put it on and like,
yeah.
17,000 people followed me from that one video.
Wow.
Now, I did post it more than once. You can't do this anymore, but in trial reels, you can post things like more than once, or you can tweak them, and I think that's okay, because I've posted a couple of my viral videos a few times in there and was getting more followers, but I think Instagram now is like, you know what we're doing.
You have to give us fresh content.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the comparison of it all, because when you're on Instagram or you're a content creator, you get to see what everybody else is doing. Is that something that you've dealt with? Because I know that's a conversation that I have with a lot of my friends, of how like, oh, you see somebody's like, I don't know, somewhere in Jamaica doing something, and then you feel the pressure. Like, how do you, especially as a mom, or now in the world of mom content, people are like giving us advice, like, you know, this is how I make them the perfect like eggs in the morning, and how I do that. So how have you had to navigate that? Is that something you've experienced in your journey?
Yeah, in the beginning, I say in the beginning, whenever influencers were a thing and I was like, that's a job, I was like, and by the way, I don't make any money from my Instagram. Like, I have a lot of followers, but I'm not like, they're not paying me money for anything. I'm not selling anything right now. Like, it's just mom life that I think people are just related to it. But when I first kind of saw like this influencer thing, I was doing all the things they were doing. I'm sitting in my car with a Chick-fil-A cup, like how they remember, like, I don't know, like that was a thing. And I
like in your car,
I didn't even go to Chick-fil-A. Like, I went out of my way to like go to Chick-fil-A, and like I was being influenced, and it was like, it was the whole thing. And I was trying, like, I found myself like trying to do the thing, whatever that was.
Right.
But yeah,
like, I enjoy seeing your content, and I do think that you put a lot of thought and heart into your work. And I just want to touch a little bit about like your businesses. We're talking about the ills of social media, but social media has done a lot for a lot of people.
It's still, and that's the thing, it's such a love-hate thing. And it's like, I met you through social media.
Exactly.
Like, and I have other mom friends in real life, like in our community, that I met because of social media.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. It's a marketing platform, and it does give everyone a voice. So I did the dance school, I did real estate, and I used social media for both of those things.
Right.
And then I did Arbonne, and I still am in Arbonne, but I'm just not actively. I've come to a place where I'm like, it's okay to just be a stay-at-home mom.
Right.
Just be a stay-at-home mom right now. Like,
you're not.
I know it's a lot of work.
It is.
But I still feel that need to be producing something.
Yeah.
And even
because you're creative as a person.
Yeah, and social media helps with that because I get to create.
Right.
And even though in our family, like, my husband is able, like, to provide for us, and I'm so grateful to have that choice because I know not everyone does, but I still feel like I need to, like, produce and do something. So yeah, I've had like the Arbonne thing going on, but now I'm kind of focusing on my Etsy shop, which is like pennies compared to like any other job that I've had.
Right.
But it gives me a creative platform, but it's also one of those platforms that can compound over time.
Right.
Like if I continue to build the Etsy shop and growing it, and if I'm consistent with it over time, it could potentially, because it's one of those things where I don't have to talk to people.
And you can scale it. It's one of those things you can scale, because the thing with me selling physical products is like, the more customers you get, the more products you need to buy. But with like printables and things like that, Etsy,
it's all digital.
It's digital.
I have no overhead. Like it ticks some of the boxes. Now it's not making a lot of money right now. I'll get like a thing, and I'm like, oh, I made $4 while I slept last night. I'm like, that will pay for today's matcha if I go to Starbucks. Almost, not even Starbucks is expensive, but
right. That's great, but. I think I've really learned a lot from you and just your journey. I enjoy hearing about it. I just wanted to know, like, if you were starting over, creating an account on social media and also building a business and having a kid, what would you do differently, or would you do anything differently?
I'm not sure. The first thing that comes to mind, and I already I don't do this anymore, but would be just like not posting my kids. At least like their face, like I don't post their faces. And that's another thing with the social media detox is before the social media detox, my whole camera roll is like the back of their heads. Because I'm like, oh, I can post this on Instagram. So like I need, like, but now that I haven't been on social media, I'm like, smile, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
you're capturing the
I'm like, here's you. Because I'm like, my kids are gonna come through my phone one day and be like, how come we're all facing away from the camera? Like, because I'm like, I'm not putting your picture on, like. But I used to, like, when they were little, like when they were babies and stuff. I'm like, that's just the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm like, a little more privacy around
But the landscape is different though. Like, I feel like every year with social media, when we started, we were posting like our location. Pretty much posting everything.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore either.
Right, because now I feel like every year it just gets more and more crazy. So like there's more and more restrictions. I don't think you need to feel like, that's a real concern for people now. So I see a lot of people now, just like you, showing their kids' heads and not wanting to show their faces, because again, people can be mean too.
You just never know.
You never know.
And they don't know what that is. Like they can't really give me permission,
sign up for that.
Yeah.
That's true.
But in terms of like building an account or a business and some of the things, because I've taken a few courses like on social media and Instagram, and who knows what's like right or not, but some of it I think makes sense. Like the one, like being authentically you.
Yeah.
I think depending on what your business is, like showing your face, like show up.
Yeah.
Whether that's in like your stories, and those are only up for 24 hours if you don't want something that's like on YouTube or something.
Right.
But just like so that people can connect to you, because depending on what your business is, most of the time people are buying you and not necessarily like what your product is. Like, for example, I was at this like, not a flea market, like a craft kind of fair, and there was this woman there selling like some clothing, this clothing line that she made, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I went back just, I don't know, to talk to her, because in Arbonne they teach you how to talk to people. So I'm like, I'm gonna talk to this one. And she told me her story on like why she created this clothing line. And she created it, it's, I'll give her a little shout out, it's called Softsy.
Oh, wow.
And it's aloe infused clothing because her kid had terrible eczema growing up, and she's like, and I wanted something for my kid that would like be soothing to them, or like, so like once I heard her story, I bought like 3 sets of pajamas and like a sweatshirt, and like, but had I not heard her story, I was just walking right by and didn't hear her story. So I think that's where social media can come in handy too, because you can share your story.
Yes.
And that's what people are going to connect to, and that's what people are going to remember. They're not going to remember the hair piece or whatever, like they want to know. because we're human, like we need connection, and that's what I think the beauty part of social media is. We can make that connection, but I think trying to be salesy or trying to be someone you're not, like that's where we get kind of lost.
I personally think that with everything is, in life you have to just have boundaries. Too much of everything is bad. Even a good thing can be bad, because I know social media right now is getting a little flack, like it's bad for you and all of that, and I'm somebody that there was a time I even considered leaving social media entirely, and I see people that have done it and I understand why they do it, but I also see that for economic growth, there are a lot of people that have been able to build something for themselves on those platforms, and those platforms are giving people hope and giving people something to look forward to and to monetize. So I'm just grateful to have you here today, Casey. Grateful that you are my very first guest. Yay. And I hope this will not be the last time we're going to see you on the podcast. So if anybody wants to find you, Casey, where can they find you?
Well, when I come back to social media, I am Instagram is kind of where I live, and my handle is casey.o'connor.kelly. Casey O'Connor Kelly.
All right. I love how you are very intentional with your kids, and I love how you're really taking the time, because nobody has, I feel like our generation, like the millennials, we're figuring out being parents while being on social media. That's not a problem they had back in the day.
I know. I daydream about what it would be like to be a mom in 1995. And I asked her, I was like, Mom, what did you do all day? Where did you go? What did we do? How did you spend your time?
Yeah, that's not the problem now. So we are having to navigate this in real time to figure out what's working, what's not working. We can't go to our mom and ask for advice on this because they didn't go through this. Right. This is a unique issue that we are having to deal with right now.
I feel like I've been trying to find just navigating. It can be very tricky, and just talking to people, and I'm always open to talking to anyone that wants to chat. And
you're the sweetest person. Like she said, I met her on Instagram, and when we decided to meet somewhere and just take a walk, and she was just the liveliest, sweetest soul.
Thank you. I had so much fun talking to you too.
Yeah, of course. And I love the fact that you're sharing your faith journey and all the beautiful things you're sharing. So guys, please check her out. And thank you so much for sticking. If you watched to this point and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast wherever it is, to keep up with more conversations, and hopefully we can have more beautiful guests like this on the podcast. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.